Siman Lamed Gimel, Sif Gimel, the Mechaber is not talking about the straps. Or haritzuas, hide that's used for the ritzuas. Sarishem or behema chaya tahira. It has to come from a kosher animal, kosher bird, chaya. Now the Mishnah Berurah says it has to be tahirim because anything that's used for hechsher from Malach Shamayim, anything that's used for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, any parts of the Sefer Torah, Tefillin, Mezuzahs, has to come from something that you could eat. It has to come from a kosher animal. And it has to be processed lishma. So when they were making the hide and they were putting it in the tannery and all this, it has to be lishma. And the Mishnah Berurah says anytime it says tzarich, it's ma'akiv, meaning, and if you didn't do lishma, it's no good. Now, here's the practical halacha: ritzuas bein ma'or bein meklaf ksherus. Now, the tzuas can come from hide or it can come from klaf, also kosher. Didn't know that. Halacha Moshe Messinai shiritzuas shchayris. It's halacha Moshe Messinai that the straps have to be blackened mibachutz on the outside. Okay, and we'll get to the inside in a moment. Now, blackened says the Mishnah Berurah. Ayin bebaruch sha'amar. The Seif Baruch sha'amar says the mitzvah shchirin shchayris ka'orev. It should be blackened until it looks like a raven, black like a raven. V'da dim nisyashu b'nismayach mehen hashachros. If it was blackened, but over time it begins to fade. It's not like, it was black at one point. You have to apply black ink. And the area by the knot is very, very often where the knot connects, where you pull it towards your arm. That often, says the Mishnah Berurah, you have to be very careful with that spot because that spot can easily lose its color. Now, see. Look at the Biur Halacha. This is the Biur Halacha of Haritzuas Shchayris. I'm going to run through it because I think it's Yisai. This is the Biur Halacha. The blackened has to be Bein B'Shal Rosh, Bein B'Shal Yad, both Shal Rosh and Shal Yad. Umistapakna im min haTorah dai b'chol echad akadei shir v'hasharu lemitzvah l'noi ba'alma. Oidilma kivan tehi mechuberes kula kechad tzricha liyas kula shachar. Interesting shaila, says the Biur Halacha. We know that there's a shear of how long the strap has to be. Past that shear, let's say the shear is up to your belly button, let's say, right? I think it's a fun. You have it longer. Or the shal yad, it just has to go to wrap to your finger. Your shal yad is way longer. The question is, past that point of the shear, is it a problem if it fades? Very practical. The area that you're wrapping around all the way, you're wrapping 1,000 times around your hand, it's all extra, it's all excess. If it begins to fade, do you have to fix it min haTorah? Do you say that because it's past the part of the shear, it's no longer necessary? Or do you say, no, it's still connected, and therefore it has to be blackened? That's his suffix. So he says, "V'ktsas railas and mekushis hagemara that deloy meshani beheter al shir." Now he says, I think it's clear from the Gemara because when the Gemara ever discusses heterim with being unblackened, it never mentions this. That if it's past the shear, it's fine. So he says, "V'tzarachim," I'm not sure. Another shayla, says the Biur Halacha, I'm not sure. Very interesting. There's the strap that goes through the box called the mabarta. Does that also have to stay black? Do you say that it's part of the straps, therefore it has to be blackened, or do you say no? That once it's entering the bias or it's within the the airspace that goes into the bias, it's already considered part of the bias. It doesn't matter. It's very negay because that's also a strap that can often lose its blackened quality. He says, I'm not sure. So he goes right to V'geder HaShachris. Now, how black does it have to be? So he quotes the Baruch Sha'amar that it has to be blackened like an Oiriv. Zeu rak mitzvah, but that's just a mitzvah. Aval b'dina. This is very interesting. What's the psak though? Practically, b'diavad. It's not so black. So he says is kol shechal of shem shachar. As long as the average person would say it looks black, that's it. Sagile. Afil zeh. And therefore, if it looks like blue, gamkin kosher. Blue to the average person looks pretty dark. So not light blue, but dark blue is also enough. So it's as long as it has to be that when you look at it, just like you're walking over to it, as long as it looks black, that's enough. Back to the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch says that you have to blacken the outside, aval mitzara pnim, but on the inside, yasem eizet sevashir, so any color suffices. Chutz me'edam, except for blood, shemiyoimru chatotav nitzvu v'hadimu, because we don't want to think that it wasn't dyed properly, that it was you had a cut, and due to your cut it began to turn red. Mishnah Berurah says, "Mibachutz." I'm sorry. Yaser Rasalarmer Im Yir Tzil Tzvayoisan Ein Mechuyev L'Tzavim B'Shum Tzeva. First of all, you don't have to have any color. It could be the original hide color. If you're going to choose a color, any color is fine, except for red, because red, it looks like you're bleeding, and people, I guess, will think that it was the blood, maybe even affected the outside, and that's going to be an issue. Hold on.